Imagine you're headed to a summer festival with a friend. You arrive excited for the night ahead, only to receive a text saying they can't make it. So, do you head home or stay and soak in the atmosphere alone? For 15-year-old Sato, that decision would be her last. This is the story of a girl who vanished in the middle of a crowded festival, only to be found dead days later in an irrigation ditch, her body arranged in the shape of a hiragana character. More than 2 decades later, her case remains unsolved, a mystery that has haunted Japan and captivated true crime communities around the world. Now let's begin. July 2003, the Sato family descended into panic when their daughter Mai didn't come home from a festival. Her parents frantically called her friends, but none had heard from her. Mai's phone rang until 10 p.m., then went dead. Fearing the worst, they filed a missing person report immediately. 3 days later, on July 9th, around 9:45 a.m., a local resident was walking along a rural road in Koka Town, Ibaraki Prefecture, around 50 kilometers from where Mai was last seen. A swarm of flies caught his attention. Following them to a spot in the grass, he was hit by the unmistakable smell of decay. Inside an irrigation hole lay a body. A girl's body, positioned deliberately in the shape of the hiragana character Ku, which looks like this. His screams drew other passersby. Someone called the police, and when the Ibaraki criminal investigation officers arrived, the media came too, though it's still unclear who summoned them. The bizarre nature of this discovery drew reporters like moths to flame, all scrambling for the story. The news broke across Japanese television in real time. Mai's family learned of their daughter's death not from police, but from their TV screen. The fragile hope they'd been clinging to shattered in an instant. They rushed to Ibaraki, and even standing in that sterile room, staring at the white sheet, they couldn't accept what lay beneath. But when the doctor pulled back the fabric, their worst fear materialized. It was Mai. The doctor's findings were grim. Death by strangulation with a rope. Bruises marked her hands and upper legs, not from rope, but from what appeared to be someone's grip. The police suspected abduction and murder. Yet, something was off. Unlike most kidnapping victims, Mai had no defensive wounds, no signs of struggle. When investigators examined her body for evidence of sexual assault, they found nothing, no foreign DNA. So the questions multiplied. If she was strangled, why didn't she fight back? Why use a rope at all? And who was Mai? Sato Mai was born in 1988 to a Japanese mother and Jordanian father. People often commented on her striking appearance, beautiful in a way that stood out, with large, expressive eyes and delicate features. She lived in Nishi Takenotsuka Adachi Ward, Tokyo, with her mother and older brother, while her father worked in Osaka. Despite the distance, he visited regularly and called every day without fail. The warmth of their family life shaped both children into kind, hardworking people. When Mai entered Tokyo Metropolitan Ueno High School in 2003, she made a choice that defined her character. While her peers spent their parents' money freely, Mai wanted to earn her own. She got a part-time job at a clothing store near Suka Station and became known for her kindness to customers and window shoppers alike. When coworkers slacked off, Mai quietly covered for them, never complaining. At school, she was equally beloved. Popular and cheerful, she helped everyone with a genuine smile. Boys lined up to ask her out, but Mai prioritized her studies, politely declining while staying friendly. Her real joy came from hanging out with friends, watching movies, shopping for cute accessories, sharing desserts after school. Sunday, July 6, 2003, started like any other day off. Mai's mother and brother had traveled to Miyagi Prefecture to visit family. Mai had planned to join them, but her father was coming from Osaka that weekend, so she stayed behind to spend time with him. Around noon, she told him she was meeting a friend to go shopping, something she loved. Like any protective father, he asked her to come home early. "I'll be back just past 8, she promised. And those would be the last words she'd ever speak to him. Mai took the train from Takenutsuka Station to Soka Station, where she met her friend, a 20-year-old woman who worked at the same clothing store. Despite seeing each other almost daily, the two never ran out of things to talk about. They had lunch at a fast food restaurant. They spent the afternoon browsing accessories and trying on clothes. Around 6 p.m., they had dinner, then traveled to North Soka Station to Koshigaya West Station. They watched the sky darken and the city lights blink on, creating what looked like rivers of stars across the urban landscape. At a clothing store, both girls picked out matching black tops. Mai bought black pants too. She was so excited about her new outfit that she changed into it immediately, stuffing her old clothes into the red plastic shopping bag. After saying goodbye, her friend headed to Shinden Station, while Mai mentioned meeting other friends. Mai boarded a train and got off at Yatsuka Station. Near the platform, she noticed a crowd of people in yukatas, traditional summer wear, all heading in the same direction. About 200 meters from the station stood the Seizaki Sengen Shrine. Normally a quiet place, but that night, a summer festival had transformed it into a sea of lanterns and laughter. Mai wanted to feel that magic too. Summer festivals are sacred to Japanese culture. They are nights when the air is warm and the stars shine clear, when strangers become friends through shared songs and dances. Food stalls line the paths, paper lanterns cast everything in a golden glow, and fireworks paint the sky. It's impossible not to smile. Mai had planned to meet friends at 7 p.m. She arrived early and wandered through the stalls, watching people play traditional games like Kingyosukui, catching goldfish with paper strainers. Then her phone buzzed with a message that changed everything. "Sorry, I think I couldn't make it to the festival," one friend canceled. Mai tried her other friend, but got no response, no answer to her calls or texts. Rather than let disappointment ruin her night, Mai decided to enjoy the festival anyway. And that was who she was, optimistic, resilient, determined to make the best of things. Witnesses later told police they saw Mai talking to a woman in red clothing, though no one could say what they discussed or what became of that encounter. Around 8 p.m., Mai stopped at a shaved ice stall run by a 17-year-old girl. They struck up a conversation and quickly bonded. When Mai asked when the stall closed, the girl told her, and Mai smiled. "Then I'll help you out because you've been so kind to me," she said. For the next hour, Mai served customers without accepting payment. She greeted everyone with warmth, joked to keep the atmosphere light, and worked as hard as if it were her own job. The stall owner thanked her repeatedly, touched by the stranger's generosity. Around 9 p.m., Mai's phone rang. The call was brief. Between the noise of the crowd and the festival music, she couldn't hear properly. After hanging up, she exchanged contact information with the shaved ice vendor and slipped back into the sea of festival goers, heading toward the exit. She walked to a nearby convenience store, phone pressed to her ear. Security footage shows her buying a drink, then sitting outside on a step. Multiple witnesses remembered seeing her there, looking anxious, repeatedly checking her phone and making calls. She was waiting for someone. And this was the last confirmed sighting of Sato Mai alive. At home, Mai's father grew increasingly worried. She'd promised to be back after 8 p.m. When the clock struck 10 and her phone went straight to voicemail, his concern turned to dread. He called her friends, but no one knew where she was, and he couldn't wait any longer. He called his wife and went straight to the police station. Hours became days with no news, until July 9th, when the body was discovered in Koka Town. Media outlets broadcast the details widely, including images of the victim's face. And that is how Mai's family learned their daughter was dead. They rushed to Ibaraki, still refusing to believe it until the doctor pulled back the sheet. The examination revealed strangulation marks on her neck from a rope. Bruises on her hands and upper legs suggested someone had gripped her hard, but the absence of defensive wounds was puzzling. If she'd been attacked and restrained, why didn't she fight? The lack of foreign DNA ruled out sexual assault. Mai was still wearing her black top and pants, but her red plastic bag, silver Rolex watch, purse, phone, and money were all missing. Strangest of all, her white socks were spotless, not a trace of dirt, as though she'd removed her shoes before entering someone's home. The police interviewed her friends. No one had useful information. Without modern cell phone tracking technology, investigators couldn't identify who had called Mai that night or where her phone had ended up. Desperate for leads, police distributed thousands of flyers describing Mai's appearance, clothing, and missing belongings. And the response was overwhelming at first, but by 2009, tips had dried up completely. On June 29, 2007, the case entered Japan's Special Investigation Reward Program. The Sakai police station and Mai's family offered 5 million yen for information leading to an arrest. The deadline expired on July 1st, 2008, with no breakthroughs. Police from Tokyo Metropolitan, Saitama Prefecture, and Ibaraki joined forces, releasing security camera footage and Mai's most recent photos. But nothing. Then, 19 years later, police released previously unseen CCTV footage from the convenience store near Yatsuka Station. The timestamp was 9 p.m. on July 6, 2003. It shows Mai buying 2 drinks while on the phone, then sitting near the entrance, clearly waiting. Eventually, she walks north alone and disappears from frame. And this was their last solid lead. A former resident near Yatsuka Station later claimed the area was known for men picking up women at night, especially near the parking lot. He theorized Mai might have encountered one of them, but without evidence, it remained speculation. Every year around the summer festival season, Mai's family and the prefectural police distribute over 2,000 pocket tissues printed with Mai's information, hoping someone who was at the festival that night will remember something, anything. In April 2021, the Ibaraki Prefectural Police Department introduced a new reward system, offering up to 50,000 yen per case for useful tips. On June 2nd, 2025, the reward for information in Mai's case was increased to 10 million yen. Funded by the Himawari Association, which is an organization of people connected to unsolved cases. But as the years pass, hope fades. The case that should have been solvable, a girl disappearing from a crowded public festival, remains Japan's most haunting mystery. So why has this case remained unsolved for over 2 decades? The answer lies in a perfect storm of bad timing and missing evidence. The biggest obstacle investigators faced was technology, or rather the lack of it. In 2003, cell phone tracking was primitive compared to today's standards. Mai's phone, the most crucial piece of evidence, was never recovered. And without it, investigators wouldn't identify who called her that fateful night or trace her final communications. The technology simply didn't exist to track phones the way it does now. Security cameras were also far less common back then. The only CCTV footage recovered showed Mai at the convenience store, but this wasn't even released to the public until 19 years later. There were massive gaps in surveillance coverage, leaving Mai's final moments largely undocumented. Perhaps most frustrating was the silence from the public. By 2007, police had received only 49 tips. By 2009, just 73. And then the information stopped coming entirely. Despite deploying over 15,000 investigators over the years, only 91 total tips came in by 2018. All of Mai's belongings, her shoes, bag, silver Rolex watch, red shopping bag, and phone vanished without a trace, eliminating crucial physical evidence. The case went cold not from lack of effort, but from lack of leads. Over the years, investigators and online communities have developed several theories about what might have happened to Mai. One detail stands out as particularly significant. When Mai's body was discovered, she wasn't wearing shoes, but her white socks were spotless, not a speck of dirt on them. This suggests she didn't walk anywhere barefoot. Instead, she likely removed her shoes before getting into a car or entering a building. If she took her shoes off voluntarily, that means she probably trusted whoever she was with. Maybe it was someone she knew. Maybe it was someone who seemed safe and asked her to take off her shoes to keep their car clean. Either way, this small detail suggests Mai didn't realize she was in danger until it was too late. Another theory focuses on the location itself. Yatsuka Station was reportedly known as a place where men would approach young women at night, especially near the parking lot. Some believe Mai encountered a predator who came to the festival specifically looking for vulnerable targets, young women alone, distracted by the crowds and festivities. And there's the mystery of the woman in red. Multiple witnesses saw Mai talking to a woman wearing red clothing at the festival, but this person never came forward. Was she involved? Did she witness something important? Her identity remains unknown. But the most critical question remains unanswered. Who called Mai around 9 p.m. that night? That mysterious phone call caused her to leave the shaved ice stall where she'd been happily helping a new friend. Witnesses saw her anxiously checking her phone and making repeated calls at the convenience store afterward. This person, whoever they are, holds the key to solving this case. What truly baffles investigators is how all these pieces fit together. Mai was strangled with a rope, yet she had no defensive wounds, no scratches, no signs of struggle. Her clean socks suggest she went somewhere willingly. But who could make a 15-year-old girl trust them enough to remove her shoes and go with them, only to kill her hours later? And why was her body positioned in the deliberate shape of the character Cruel? Was it a signature, a message? 22 years later, no one has deciphered its meaning. Mai disappeared in that narrow window of time when cell phones were common enough to be crucial evidence, but technology wasn't advanced enough to track them. A case that might have been solved in days with today's technology remains one of Japan's most haunting mysteries. Mai's family can only wait and hope. So what do you think happened to Mai? Was this a crime of opportunity by a stranger, or was she targeted by someone she knew? The truth is still out there, waiting to be uncovered. That is all for today. Thanks for watching.